So James Harden was off to an epic start for fantasy basketball, and I was high on him. I was like, I told you he was going to kill it. But over the last few weeks, especially with the return of Kawhi Leonard, he started to taper off a little bit. In this episode, we're going to talk about should we buy low and sell high on some players, especially your man, James Harden. We believe every NBA fan that plays fantasy football should also play fantasy basketball. If it's your first time here, I'm Robin Marks, your personal fantasy basketball analyst. I've made stops in my career at NBC Sports Roto World, #basketball, and now I'm here to work for you. The first player we want to talk about when we talk about buy lows is James Harden. Now I get it. If you've been listening, right? If you've been listening to what we've been talking about on the channel, you know that we have been Cheech and Chong, Method Man, and Red Man high on James Harden. Bob Marley spliff high, right? But even though he had a hot start, Kawhi is back, and because of that, we've seen a slight regression in James Harden's fantasy basketball production. On the season, he's still killing it. According to Yahoo Points League rankings, he's number 22 on the season. But here's the bad news. Over the last 7 days, your man James Harden is number 49, according to Yahoo standard scoring settings. Let that sink in. Over the last 7 days, he's averaging 19 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1.5 blocks. All very good. But check out this last stat that people aren't talking about. In the last 7 days, James Harden is averaging a whopping 4.5 turnovers per game. So every game, he's just losing you 4.5 points in a Yahoo Points League. So you want to really pay attention to this. So now, for the manager in your league who has James Harden on their roster, they're panicking. They're mad. They probably spent a second-round pick on him or paid big bucks at the beginning of the season when he was overperforming, and now they're sitting here like, what am I doing? I got a bucket full of hot dog water with the brat worst residue, stinking up the joint. So this is where you creep in. This is where you start to formulate a couple of offers to see if you could bring James Harden back to your squad. I would strongly recommend it because there's a couple of things that's for sure in life. Everybody's going to get 24 hours a day. Everyone's going to have to pay their taxes, and Kawhi Leonard is going to get injured. And when that happens, God forbid, because I don't want any player to get injured. I'm just going by historical data, historical reference, that when he goes down, you'll see James Harden start to pick it up. Before we go any further, I want to talk about BetOnline. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, the NHL, and UFC, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. The next player I want to talk about is somebody that I have been on the hilltop to stay away from, right? But every player that I kind of put into that category, at some point of their fantasy journey, they end up on one of my buy low lists. And this gentleman is no different. From the Miami Heat, Jimmy $100 cup of coffee with the emo bangs and the fingernails painted, Butler. Oh, baby. Like, I am out on Jimmy Butler. I don't bang with Jimmy Butler. But this season, he's shown some signs of life, right? On the season, he's ranked number 58 for Yahoo Points Leagues, and he's currently suspended, right? So I always say an injured player, the best time to buy low on a player is when they're injured, and in this case, when a player is suspended. Now, here's why I would recommend considering buying low on Jimmy Butler. First thing, right now he's not playing, so people are stressed out if they drafted him with any type of reasonable draft capital that they put up for him. They've been sucking their teeth all season like they just had a spoon of peanut butter, right? This daggone Jimmy Butler, man, he ruined me, man, right? They sick about it. So that's the first reason. Second reason is Jimmy Butler might get traded, right? Some would argue that the Miami Heat are just going to wait it out and just eat it and maybe figure it out over the summer. Others are talking about him possibly getting moved to the Phoenix Suns, maybe the Golden State Warriors, but the money has to be right in order to make that happen. When I tell you, one thing about Jimmy Butler, and I'm a big-time Jimmy Butler supporter, and I've been a big-time Jimmy Butler supporter for years, but this whole debacle in Miami is making me just kind of think about it like, man, you did this in Chicago, huh? You did this in Minnesota. Come on. You did this in daggone Philadelphia. What? And now you're doing it in Miami? Miami? What? Where they do that at? I'm just saying, put it like this. If Jimmy Butler arrives in a new city, I promise you this. For the first season, half season or whatever it is that he's there, he is going to ball like ain't nobody's freaking business. So for that reason, the risk that you're taking, for me, the reward is really high. So if he doesn't play, you might, buy low on it. Be okay with the players that you put up to bring Jimmy Butler back. But just know that if the man plays, it will be a solid play. The next player I'm going to consider buying low on is Ja Morant. Listen, I talk about Ja Morant on this channel all the time, and I'm just really proud and happy that your man does not have a story about him popping up on Facebook Live or Instagram Live with the frickin' blicky. I am grateful for that, right? Like, dedicated and faithful to him to continue this journey of no criminal activities with all of this promise ahead of him, all of the greatness that he has ahead of him. I'm just glad he ain't making no more silly mistakes so far, knock on wood. But I would say that that Ja Morant over the last 7 days has been kind of stinking up the joint. He is currently ranked number 89 for points leagues. Number 89 for Yahoo points leagues. Come on, man. In the last 7 days, averaging 19.5 points per game. Yuck. 4 rebounds per game. Yuck. 3.5 assists. What the heck are you doing? 1 steal. That's okay. 0 blocks. That's normal. But check this out. 4.5 turnovers per game. 4.5 turnovers per game. That is low-key depressing. I am sick to my stomach about that. But there's a manager in your league that has Ja Morant on their team, and they're worrying a little bit about it, and you might be able to take advantage. With that said, I would definitely buy low on Ja Morant. Despite the injury risk that he might have, I think when he plays and he's playing at his best, he's the type of player that can help you to bring home a fantasy basketball championship. The next player we want to talk about is from the Toronto Raptors, and that's Immanuel Quickley. He is currently ranked 101 on the season for Yahoo points leagues and 107 over the last 7 days. So he is really stinking up the joint. Dumpster Juiceville. He came back, and I think his first game he had like double-digit assists. He had a really good outing in his first game back after being injured for a while. But he needs to get his legs under him. He needs to get reacclimated to the offense and to the team in general. So it might take him a little bit of time before he reaches the expectations that we had for him when we drafted him. Somebody in your league is panicking, though. That's the guy that's like, man, I was about to drop him anyway. Maybe they even dropped him and brought him back on the team. If you're in a shallow league, he was probably on your waiver wire and somebody grabbed him right as he came back. So they're like, it doesn't matter. Like, I got him off the waiver wire, or he's been on my IR most of the season. Like, I'm okay with moving him. This will be an opportunity for you because I strongly believe, big picture, rest of season, Immanuel Quickley is going to be a beast. He just needs a little bit of time to readjust. Now, will he finish top 50? I don't think so. But I think he'll be better than 107. I think he'll be better than 101. So for that reason, I'm definitely considering buying low on Immanuel Quickley. The last buy low candidate that I have for you is going to shock you. It is somebody that I was kind of like on the fence about because I watched a few buy low videos from some of my fantasy basketball analysts out there. I even reached out to you, people in the Discord community. If you're not a part of our Discord, please join us at BelieveInFantasy.com. And I asked them, who do you want me to do buy low? Who do you want me to cover for my buy low, sell high episode? And this name didn't come up. And I think, honestly, it's a name that people aren't talking about, but I'm going to go there. The player I want to talk about from the world champion, Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum. Yes, let that sink in. I believe this week, Jayson Tatum is a buy low. And he might be a buy low for the rest of for the next couple of weeks. Who knows? But here's why. On the season, he's ranked number 20 for Yahoo Points Leagues, which is pretty good. He was a lot higher than this if you think about it a few weeks ago. There was a point in the season where he was top 10 for fantasy points leagues. Now he's down to 20 on the season. But check this out. Over the last 7 days, Jayson Tatum is ranked number 37 for Yahoo Points Leagues. How the mighty have fallen. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to get Jayson Tatum for Darius Garland, right? You're not going to be able to do that. But what you might be able to do is create a package with somebody like, I don't know, Anthony Edwards, who's going off right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of the people that we're going to cover for our sell high, section of this show. Maybe some of those guys, you can work out a deal to get Tatum back because I strongly believe the way he came out of the gates at the beginning of the season was notable. Like, you got to pay attention to that. It's definitely a noteworthy thing because he hasn't really done that before. Now, as the Celtics get healthy, you'll see him maybe be a little more complacent in terms of his personal contributions and his personal stats, but those guys don't stay healthy. And they're playing for the playoffs. They're playing for our finals. They're playing for a repeat on their world championship. One of the most stable and sturdy, consistent pieces of their puzzle has been Jayson Tatum. He's a pretty healthy player. So I think he'll continue to play. But if some of those other guys who have been banged up this season, like Jaylen Brown, like Kristaps Porzingis, like Drew Holiday, guys who have been banged up, then that value will come back. So for me, I would definitely look at some of those second round, third round values and see if I could package a few of those, maybe one second, third round guy with maybe a lower tier guy, and see if I can bring him home for a 2-for-1 after a stinker. So pay attention to Jayson Tatum this week. If he has a stinky game over the next couple of weeks, actually, maybe you should send some offers. I want to talk about our sell highs, but before we sell high, I want to talk about my favorite daily fantasy sports platform, OwnersBox. Are you ready for the chance of a lifetime? OwnersBox is giving you the ultimate opportunity to turn your daily fantasy game into the experience of a lifetime. Here's what's up for grabs. Grand prize, a trip for 2 to the Super Bowl. Yes, the frickin' Super Bowl. Top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the frickin' wind. Including $5,000 for travel and spending, plus your accommodations. And an incredible package valued at $31,000. That is 3130. Come on, ma. Second place, a jaw-dropping 65-inch Samsung QLED 4K big screen TV. We giving out TVs over here, y'all. Bonus prizes. 4 lucky winners will score signed NFL memorabilia. It's simple. How do you play? For every $10 you spend on OwnersBox, you earn an entry into the grand prize drawing. The more you play, the better your chances to win. But don't wait, because this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity ends with the grand prize drawing on January 27th, 2025. Mark your calendars. Sign up now using the link in the description of this episode, or just visit bit.ly/OwnersBox to support the show and secure your entries. That's bit.ly, OwnersBox number 500. And if you win the Super Bowl trip and if you need a guest, you can actually invite me. I will definitely roll with you. I'm just saying. But hold up. If that's not enough for you, the first time you sign up for OwnersBox, they give you up to $500 in bonus rewards. Don't just watch the Super Bowl, experience it like never before. Again, visit bit.ly/OwnersBox or hit the link in the description. Now I want to talk about our sell highs for fantasy basketball. The first player I'm going to talk about is standing on business. Your man is not playing no games, and I don't give a shit puppy. There is no way that he can maintain his current value. From the Memphis Grizzlies, currently ranked over the last 7 days, number four for Yahoo points leagues, Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, baby. Your man is cooking with hot bacon grease, bubbling in the cut. Averaging over the last 7 days, 29.7 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and check this out. 2 steals per game. Yes. And I'm not done. 2.3 blocks per game. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Now, if you sell high on Jaren Jackson Jr., don't bring back no scrubs. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to secure yourself a first rounder like Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic or anything like that. However, I wouldn't be mad at creating a package with Jaren Jackson Jr. that could bring you back one of those first round players. Come on now. You want to be really funky fresh, do a daggone screenshot of this episode, get a screen capture of this part about Jaren Jackson Jr., send it over. Like the first part. Don't include the part where I'm trying to create a deal. But I'm saying maybe send over some screenshots of his rankings on #basketball. Do something to kind of get the manager that you're trying to move Jaren Jackson Jr. to, send him something that will help to kind of validate your position. And you could probably secure a deal to bring back one of those first round players. I'm just saying. The next player we want to talk about is somebody that I used to always draft and was so high on and was low on him this year. And honestly, for good reason, until now. The next sell high I want to talk about is from the Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine. And big shout out to the Believe in Fantasy Basketball Discord. They actually recommended that I cover him, and I had him on my list already, so I was really pumped about that. Over the last 7 days, Zach LaVine is ranked number 12. Check this out. In that time period, Zach LaVine is averaging 33 points per freaking game. Wow. That is crazy, y'all. He's out here looking like MJ over the last 7 days. He's looking like daggone Toon Squad jersey Zach LaVine in a dunk contest against Aaron Gordon type stuff. I'm just saying. He's also chipping in 6.3 rebounds per game and 5 assists. So for me, Zach LaVine is not going to get you a first-round player. But you can definitely have an upgrade. Anybody who's comparable to his recent production or even his season-long production, you could probably secure a deal and sell high on him to bring that player back, because the concern that I have about Zach LaVine, and you should have this concern too, is that he don't play. He don't play. He always gets banged up. It's always a reason why it doesn't work. So for that reason, I would definitely sell high on Zach LaVine while you can. Really quick, if you love this community and you want to invest in what we're building, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. Think of it like treating me to a coffee and a bagel once a month. Becoming a paid subscriber will grant you access to our MVP Discord channel, priority DM and email replies, and priority Rate My Team videos. And most importantly, your support will help us to keep creating content. You're not obligated or expected to pay anything to be a part of this community, but there are expenses associated with running this operation, and your support will help us keep this thing going for years to come. To get started, visit believeinfantasy.com, enter your email, and select the level of support that works best for you. The next player we want to talk about is Jaylen Green. Jaylen Green is currently ranked number 17 over the last 7 days in Yahoo. Your man is going off. And I think that Ime Udoka is finding his swag with this team because they're winning games. They have a bunch of players who are producing, and I think there's a vibe happening in Houston. In terms of fantasy, I am confident that Jaylen Green will not be able to sustain this level of value. So, for that reason, I would definitely consider creating a deal to sell high on Jaylen Green. The next player we want to talk about is Jalen Green's running mate from the Houston Rockets, Amen Thompson. Over the last 7 days, Amen Thompson is number 23 in Yahoo points leagues. Number 23 over the last 7 days. Amen Thompson is a player that we've always been high here at the channel. If you don't know, we are here based in the Atlanta area, so we were big supporters of Asar and Amin when they played at OTE. Me and my son are heading to an OTE game in a couple of weeks to go check out some of the players. We got the courtside seats. It's just one of the most amazing basketball fan experiences. But in terms of Amin, I don't think that this experience is going to last much longer. I don't think he's going to be a top 25 player, but he does have tons of upside. So in this kind of a scenario, when you talk about a young player like Asar who chips in a lot of different categories and is able to provide that consistent fantasy basketball value when he gets the minutes, key words being when he gets the minutes, then he is a solid play. But for me, one thing that I know about Ime Udoka, he is one of the most fickle coaches when it comes to his young players. He'll have you playing 35 minutes one game, and the next minute you will play 5. So for me, I think I'm okay with selling now before the fantasy value takes a dip. Really important. I need you to be a two-way player. What's a two-way player? On offense, we need you to watch the YouTube video, comment, like all of the things. And then on defense, all right, slide on defense, we need you to listen to the audio podcast. We are a part of the Believe Network, and it would mean the world to me if you would take a chance to listen to our audio podcast if you don't already do so. And if you're a podcast listener, please take some time to go check out the episode on YouTube as well. It will cost you nothing, and you are supporting the channel. The next player we want to talk about for sell highs is somebody that we've loved on this channel. But he ain't been playing, y'all. He really has not been on the court. But when he is on the court, Windmillville. Your man, Zion Williamson. Now, before I go into Zion, I really got to do a quick wing break. I don't know if you guys know, we're towards the end of the episode now, and last couple of weeks we've been doing wings, but this week I didn't have any wings, so I made chicken legs. Oh my goodness gracious. Do you see what we got going on here? These are chimichurro, roasted chicken legs, chimichurro with cilantro lime dressing. Oh my freaking God. So I'm going to do a quick wing break because we've been keeping it going. And then we're going to talk about Zion. Oh, my God. You got to check this out. Oh, this joint is dripping, y'all. Oh, my God. I don't want this to get on my computer. For my people listening at home, yes, I'm about to eat a piece of chimichurro cilantro lime chicken. Hold on. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's good. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. That might be the best one, y'all. Woo! Holy crap. Got me sliding around in my chair. Shish kebabs. Good God. The glaze is otherworldly. God, that's good. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know if I can talk about Zion, y'all. Okay, let's finish up. Get professional. Okay, so over the last 7 days, Zion has been number 29. He's coming back with a fury and rage. People have been talking crap about him, making fun of his weight, all of these things, and now Zion is healthy. My question to you is, do you think he'll stay healthy? It's a fact, like over his career, for his entire career, he's been banged up, right? I think we had one good season where he played a bunch of games. Other than that, your man is banged up. So if you could get a little bit of light with Zion playing well and you can sell high to get a decent return, I would make that move in a heartbeat because I have no faith that Zion Williamson is going to be able to stay healthy for the rest of the season. But if you want to stay healthy for the rest of the season, make sure you check out our last episode about the top 100 fantasy basketball players. This episode was presented to you by BetOnline.